class, we make a movie, and the kids get, they help with ideas and themes and dialogue, and they also get to be a part of have the experience of being on a professional film set. So that's sort of a little bit of our backstory, and each year we have a different theme, and this year was identity, gender, pronouns, labeling. The year before was, I guess, pre-COVID, was gun violence in schools, things like that.
Depression, all kinds of things.
And I'm so happy some of our cast.
I know.
Yeah.
So excited.
Yeah.
Well, other questions that I have is just how long does this process take from kind of beginning to end, and like the shooting schedule with the kids, casting, all that stuff?
So the class itself is a 5-week-long class.
We meet once a week for 3 hours, which is not that long.
So yeah, so it's sort of 4 weeks of class, and then the 5th week we shoot. It's a 2-day shoot.
Wow,
Is it
all that in
fast?
2 days?
Oh
Yeah.
And
That's
we have
a lot.
You know what?
Those
It
long
really
days,
is.
though.
Long days. I think Naya had the longest day.
I
Like
was
she,
stuck there until like 9 p.m.
One day we were there until it was like dark out, and that was
Yeah.
like June.
yeah, we
Yeah,
do it all
the
in
second
2
day went a
days.
little long because the first day we got a little bit behind, but
But we also do a pickup day usually.
actually,
Yeah.
oh, we did it. Did we on this one?
We did, yeah. We had the teacher and all that.
Oh, right, yeah, the
Yeah.
teacher.
Oh, that's great. And then, so you guys are involved with every step of the way. Do the kids help write the projects, or?
Like I'm the writer, but
Uh-huh.
they will improv scenes for me, and they'll kind of give me inspiration, and then I'll have several drafts that they'll read out loud for me, and if they don't think something sounds right, they'll be like, that I wouldn't say that, or nobody says that. And I will humbly fix.
That's great. Yeah. Did you, I mean, these are serious topics, and I know that we have, obviously with this program as an example, we have a lot of serious subject matter that we cover in our festival. Over 300 films this year, so thank you so much for coming out. Please tell your friends to come to the
Yeah.
festival. Of course, we wish we had a full house today, and I apologize that we didn't, but we're thrilled that you're here, and thank you. But like, do you reach out to any other organizations to kind of also inform kind of how to address some of this sensitive subject matter?
Well, we do have some educational distribution on the film, so we're always looking for schools that would love to show our work. We also are open to, donating a screening. I've written facilitator guides to go with the film, so that's for middle, high school, and adult learning, so it can hopefully open some conversations that way.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really lovely about the diversity that you had represented in the film itself, and I like the little there's probably a phrasing for this, but the little montages about everyone answering the questions that you were posing.
Oh, great.
I think it's nice to see kind of all the different answers,
Mhm.
the spectrum of answers.
And
that
they actually did help me with what they wanted to say with that,
That's
which
great.
was really great. And I loved Hayden's response. He was really
Yeah.
just like, had to get it out there. And, people need to hear.
It's like
Yeah.
stuff people need to hear, stuff I want to say.
Well, for the young people, and then I will open it up for questions. For the young people, what was your experience like? If you just want to kind of like touch on your experience with the subject matter, with
Do you wanna-
making
you
the
wanna start
film,
with
the
that?
whole thing.
Specifically with my character, it was.
You were the mean one.
But she's not.
She's
at
so
all.
sweet.
No, trust me, in real life.
So especially with trying to portray a character that you have no familiarity with, it was interesting to get a whole new perspective, even though obviously the perspective was wrong. It was, and with the subject matter, I think we all felt comfortable in the group that we were in, and we all felt like we could trust each other, and it wasn't, even when we were shooting, it wasn't just shooting nonstop when you weren't on scene, we were playing Uno, and then
Yeah,
we
in
started
the garage.
laughing,
Try to
yeah.
make it fun.
And we started laughing, and then we got in trouble, but.
It was just in the car scene when you guys just wouldn't stop.
Well,
Well, it was really awkward, and Adrian was in the trunk.
I was in the trunk.
I was like, you guys, we have to get this
Well,
stuff
I was
out."
trying to fit in the car too. It's like I was trying to be in the
No,
front
but you
I
know
seat.
what?
remember there was this one time we were sitting out of the car trunk with the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the
And
end.
at the very end, you were
Yeah.
just holding the camera as the car went
Yes.
back, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I was trying not to laugh as you just
Well, just for the record, you're getting the real independent filmmaker experience.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yes,
Like
when the car is
100%.
the dolly, the-
Yeah.
I just wanna, shout out to Naya and Hayden, there were 8 core members, my son was an extra, but every child on this movie set was extremely professional, very well behaved, and they just really wanted to make the project as best as they could, and
took
so
it seriously.
I was really
It was
happy
great.
that Naya went there for us and for the film to carry out the story,
Yeah.
and Hayden did a great job too.
Do you want to speak to your experience?
So I definitely say it was a kind of a unique experience where at least I want to say for the people that were there, it was a very like open and very collaborative space where again we went through like 7-ish, and yeah,
Drafts and
yeah.
stuff?
I'm trying to think how many there were. And when we got to the final one, like I could see everyone was like, all right, this is gonna be good. We're gonna be doing something really good here. And then like what I saw, filming and this, even the final product, I could tell there was definitely a lot of heart put into this
Aw.
and a lot of dedication, and I'm honestly really proud of that.
Oh,
I hope
great.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There.
What about your experience?
Oh, I was just kind of there.
Okay, great. But as an outsider, what
There we
did
go.
you think about this crazy circus going on around you
it
and
was
what
a
your
lot.
mom's involved with?
I mean, like at home, they were just always upstairs
He's used to us
working on
being.
the
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So yeah.
Are you interested in film and filmmaking?
No.
That's okay. It's okay.
But I
I'm
feel
a
like,
film person, and we can be a little overwhelming
Yeah.
sometimes, and it's all right.
I also
Yeah.
feel like whatever mom and dad do is just
It's
deeply
not
uncool.
cool.
Right, yeah.
But he's
Yeah.
really good at programming and tech stuff, so
That's
who
good,
knows?
that's great, that's great. All right, I suppose we'll open it up for other people to ask questions of our panel of filmmakers tonight, who came all the way from Chicago, right? You guys are all from here?
Oak Park.
Okay,
Deerfield.
close enough. You braved the weather. It's
We
cold
did.
out
did.
too.
There's
Tonight,
Highland
which is
Park.
good.
Yep, Highland Park.
Do you have questions?
What do you think your most, two-part question for anybody, your most surprising
Mm.
part of your experience, something you didn't expect, and then, your most favorite part of the experience?
You guys go. Yeah, you guys take that.
It's hard.
Okay, kind of a surprising part was how close we came over the small amount of time that we actually were together. And just the friendships that developed, and even when people blended, some of us were still in a program called the Performance School together, and then some people came back when we did a Ravinia group, and
You did the Ravinia
Yeah.
show, right? Yeah.
so it was,
I was gone over that summer.
I know.
Yeah.
So, it was really surprising how close we got, even though we were only together for a little bit of time.
That's great.
I definitely say surprisingly, I'm surprised how just far we went with this, because I never expected, like, when the 8 of us, we walked in that Saturday morning to like the Highwood Rec Center, and we sat around on that table. I would never thought in like 1,000 years that like a few months later we'd be here at Chicago in like
A place.
a
Yeah,
international
right.
film
Right.
festival, and with like all this like, and like I feel out of my league here. Everything's like so professional.
No.
Yeah, but again, also like how close we came. I really liked that, and I really liked that we were all together for it, and we were all like, we became very close knit over those like five-ish weeks.
That's great. Well, not to like scare you or whatever, but
You're
we
good.
had 900 films in our festival, or
Really?
no, that were submitted to our festival this year. We selected about a third of them, so around 300. And so 600 were rejected, but not yours. So just let you know.
Yeah. All right.
You made it through to the end, so that's great. And here you are to enjoy it with the audience. Any other thoughts or comments about kind of highlights and?
You know, for me,
Experiences?
one of the things that I was really impressed by was how supportive all of the kids were for each
Yes.
other. I saw just like a real, sort of sense of everybody in this together and wanting to support each other. So
Right.
I thought that was pretty awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, and I knew that, you know, I can kind of tell after the first and second week, you know, what the, you know, I get ideas of performance and all of that, and I love being able to really make this an ensemble film. We do have our lead that we follow through, but I really was excited to wait it out in such a way that everyone kind of got a little moment, so that felt good to me too. And you know, with each film that we make, they're all special, but this group was really special to me.
Aw.
Nice. Yes.
So the film took on put together in a very interesting format with the teacher assignment,
Yeah.
and then the kids having to give feedback, video feedback. At what point did you come up with that idea? Did you have that going into it?
I think we may have had a version of that going into
We
it.
have
Yeah.
several ideas, and then we sort of, you know, present them to the kids and listen to theirs. And actually, surprisingly, what happened is that one of the kids in the film shared their story about being bullied and having that sort of picture go viral on social media and having to change schools. That really happened to that person, and we had to make sure that it was okay to share that storyline in the film, and they were, you know, graciously, they shared that. So that was a whole storyline that we didn't know was gonna be in the film. But we did have an idea of how to bookend the story, and we thought maybe a teacher, maybe inside a classroom, maybe online, some type of school event to link it through, but it was like several scenarios.
It was
it could
pretty
have been.
vague. We knew we wanted to also play with animation for the first time.
Yeah, we
in the
wanted to
series.
try that, something different too, so we worked with somebody on our production team that we found, so.
I really like that how you did incorporate animation into it, and the sound effects too that kind of went with that.
Oh, good.
And yeah, the device that was used, I agree. I thought that was really safe and comfortable and familiar, especially if you're targeting young audiences to engage with the
Right.
story.
Good,
So I
thank you.
really appreciated that. I thought that was a neat way to enter into the film.
One more thought on that, I wonder how you see, I mean, if Identity is shown at a school, say it's shown at Northwood,
Oh no.
where it was actually filmed, I'm wondering how you see the kids in the audience responding to what's being shown.
Right, well, hopefully, you know, obviously this topic, you know, it depends on the age group, to be honest. Like, we do see this, you know, middle and high school, like middle school is probably the sweet spot, but, you know, the facilitator guides, sort of like the questions that I've written are general in efforts to hopefully open and more of a discussion about the topics, and you know, did anything jump out that was surprising to you? How do you identify? What do you think of these other terms? You know, just to sort of get the topic going. But as far as their reactions, I think, like the film, it would sort of mirror that. Somebody being like, "Ugh, that's weird," and then somebody being like, "Why can't everyone accept everyone?" Hopefully there's a diverse, you know.
With specifically the group at Northwood, there would just be a lot of inappropriate jokes for the rest of the year.
Well, and again, that's also age
Yeah,
and the
that's
group
true.
and the school,
And we
but
get bullied.
I would also hope.
I can't say I'm not in middle school anymore, but
Thank goodness
I
for
would
you.
also hope that it would encourage empathy. I mean, it's certainly the point of view of the film, I think, is to try to encourage
it's
empathy.
about
you know.
inclusion. But
Right.
sure, you know, there's always that fear of like, oh, some kids are gonna be jerks
Yeah.
and some are gonna be great. That's sort of like the real life lesson. But hopefully kids would respond well to it. I think there are more good people in the world than bad, so I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
that.
Do you think that some kids who are the ones who hold back in these bullying circumstances will feel more motivation to come forward and take part in protecting people being bullied and
I would
support
hope so.
I
them?
would hope so, yeah.
I think, you know, if you can see that bullying, there's a victim. I mean, so there, you know, that people are humans, and we, you know, we're affected by these things, and you know, this is not, bullying is not a victimless crime, you know, and so I would hope that, you know, the work we do on this, and we've done other ones that have sort of dealt with
Cyberbullying and things like that.
I would hope that it would, again, encourage empathy and encourage people to speak up
And to be an upstander, you know, as opposed to a bystander, that whole thing there. Absolutely, because you can, you know, if you don't want to be involved and also become a target, that makes total sense, but maybe that person that would be shy before, maybe they would go to someone and say, hey, I saw this.
not okay.
You know, even anonymously, there's growth that way. I want to be anonymous, but I want to report what I saw. Yeah.
And we
Love
saw
it.
that in one of the other films, Go the Dark Way, with the elephant and the boy, right?
Right.
So, you know, there was that connection, but then he went black and white too at the end and left his new friend all alone. So, no, it's tough out there. How about for the cast members? We're several months removed from the screening we had at the Rec Center. How did it feel to see yourselves on the big screen here in a real theater?
It was weird.
Loved it.
Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I actually wasn't at the screening at the Rec Center. I was.
Oh, right, that's right. You were at camp.
Yeah, I
This
was.
is
I
the
was.
first time you
all-
actually
yeah,
did screen.
yeah, like screen. I mean, I saw it on my computer.
Right.
It's,
Not quite the
sent me
same.
The Vimeo link. But this is the first time I've seen it. Good old silver screen.
I'm honored we got to do that for you.
Yeah.
Woo, Naya.
I thought the whole block was great. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
letting us be a part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's our
Yeah.
pleasure, and what a powerful program, and I mean, just so you know, all of these programs, this program is available online too, so,
Oh, really?
you know, other families and maybe school groups might be booking this, and we actually continue our school screenings through December.
Great.
So there
Oh.
might be other schools reaching out for a program like this. I know for a long time, we offered bullying programs year-round, or i.e. their social emotional learning programs, where bullying is a strong theme through many of them, like this, similar to this. And this was more specific too with identity in as well. But those have always been very popular with our constituents. So they're really great learning tools. And also to frame, like you were talking about the concerns about your film, when it's kind of like nestled in with other films kind of dealing with similar themes or topics, it can really be, you know, supportive to the young people in the audience. They'll really be able to see themselves and know that they're not alone. That's a huge part of this. So thank you for being so brave to make a film that deals with this sensitive subject matter, for being in this film, and really, you know, reminding kids, and it's this kind of like constant reminders are so important. I think that's what will foster change, or does foster change, that it's not okay, you know, and together we can make sure people realize that. So thank you.
Thank you. And
Thank
I wanted
you.
to say thank you to our partners, Stacy Plaster and Liz Fauntleroy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a bunch of, as you probably know, a bunch of people in the cast could come here tonight.
Yeah.
And
They send their
sorries.
their sorries and they send their wishes.
Yeah.
Well,
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you to all